Oh boy, Nathan, our first podcast.
Yes, this should be very interesting.
You sound okay. It's probably fine. It'll come out good in the recording. Oh my god, we're gonna watch Kiss Me's the Phantom of the Park. I'm so excited. We're gonna talk about bad movies.
I know this movie is terrible.
Well, here we go.
Oh no, a disturbance in the temporal vortex.
Guys, don't do it.
Yeah, guys, don't do it.
We're your future selves from 3 years in the future.
Yeah.
Why are you doing, like, ghostly voices?
Well, I because you guys are doing an audio podcast, we're going to need to differentiate between vocals, right? I mean, I sound like me now, but I don't sound like me then. That is correct. You sound different.
Nathan, you've changed.
I know. I speak more eloquently.
Wait, we have to tell you something.
Yes. Just so you both are aware, the orange reptile man is going to become president.
Donald Trump, come on.
Ha ha ha. That is a joke, right?
That is a joke, Robot Nathan.
I'm not a robot. I'm just feeling under the weather. It's a terrible cold.
But that's ridiculous. Come on. Obama's president. We're going to get someone
Obama's the president, but
his good.
Brendan, his term is coming up. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are going to run for the presidency. Mm-hmm. Trump is going to win. Trust me.
Okay, no, wait. Are you serious? That's actually terrifying. Oh my god, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Tell him, future Brendan.
Oh, nothing. You're Canadian. Also, don't put Kevin Spacey on a pedestal.
Why would you say that? He's an acting genius.
No, don't. Please watch your words.
Don't. Also, avoid 9 lives at all cost. Yeah. Is it because it's terrible?
Well, yes, but also Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, it's not gonna age well. Things are gonna come out. Trust us.
It will not work. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? I'm so stressed right now. Oh my god.
Guys, don't worry. Hey, but listen, guys, calm down. 2 years from now,
yeah,
legal weed, so you're good.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So, yeah, no, go ahead and do the podcast. Just follow those guidelines, and everything should be okay. So Donald Trump becomes president, and don't hold Kevin Spacey to any high regard. Cool?
Cool.
That sounds cool to us. So we're gonna just get on out of here. Brendan, you want to ramp up the Cyberdyne Systems stuff there?
Oh, here we go. Click, click, click. Poom, poom, pow. Explosion. All right, well, let's watch Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
You know when I pick a movie, that's when I'm under pressure now. The question always comes back to me, what were they thinking now? Whoa, what were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Man, I hope they take our advice. Wait, we're here. We're still here. We're doing they didn't listen at all.
Wait a second, Nathan. Let me just check our episode history. They did Citizen Kane. Well, that changed history a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, Nathan, they did all of Kevin Spacey's movies.
Like the entire backlog?
Everything. Oof. Starting on a good note. This is a podcast.
It is.
That
we continue to do, apparently.
Yep. I'm Brendan.
I'm Nathan. Not Robot Nathan.
No, Robot Nathan was in the past. And if you listen to...
He just said he just had a cold, so...
Well, I mean, if you listen to that episode, I think he gets a cold about halfway through.
Oh, okay.
But this is What Were They Thinking, where we talk about bad to questionable movies, and it is our 100th episode. What? And what have we decided to do to ourselves, Nathan, on this 100th episode?
Well, we have decided to revisit one of our quasi-lost episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the audio was so atrocious on our very first episode, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, we are revisiting it for our 100th episode.
And if you want to get if you want to hear any of that, you can find it on the YouTube page for Game It All. If you just search for it, you'll find it. It's difficult to listen to at times, not necessarily because of the episode itself, just the audio is all over the place.
Yeah, to say the least.
Let's just say we were learning. But yes, we are on this very special afternoon, morning, evening, night, whenever you're listening to this podcast. We can't decide that, Nathan. I wish we could.
No, we can't.
I wish we could decide when people listen to the show.
I like the idea of people being able to take us with them wherever they go, and
I would just like to curate it to the time they listen to it. Maybe we should record like 5 different versions and just replace words with like evening, day, night, and morning,
afternoon. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And not record the words, but 5 entirely full different episodes.
Happy St. Swithing's Day, everybody. Shoot me.
I see you're listening to this on St. Patrick's Day of 2024.
Weird how they abolished term limits, isn't it? God.
No, the nightmare future. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. This is the first movie we ever covered, and it's pretty self-explanatory from the title.
Yeah.
The band Kiss fights
meets a phantom at a park.
At a park.
Actually, they don't really.
It's not a phantom. It's just an old man.
I think they're using phantom in this case more like the Phantom of the Opera, where it's a person.
At the very least, in Phantom of the Opera, though, he has, like, powers.
What?
In Phantom of the Opera, at least he has, like, powers. Like, he's some sort of specter.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's, like, underneath the, he's, like, a spirit or something.
No, it's a man named Eric. He lives under the Opera House.
I knew he lived under the Opera House. I thought he wasn't, like, human.
No, he's a deformed human.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Gerard Butler, you lied to me.
Ooh. Oh, are you talking about Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which one are you talking about?
The Gaston Leroux original novel Phantom of the Opera.
No idea. Is it the same thing?
That's what the musical is based on.
Oh, yeah. No, I was not.
Okay.
But Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, in association with Hanna-Barbera, released in 1978.
You really get that Hanna-Barbera feel right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
All the ADR, like the Banana Splits-esque characters running around.
Well, I mean, most of the movie was filmed at Magic Mountain in California. Mm-hmm. With additional filming taking place in the Hollywood Hills. Much of the production was rushed, and the script underwent numerous rewrites. All 4 members of Kiss, and this might be my favorite sentence of all time, all 4 members of Kiss were given crash courses on acting.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
I'm sure Gene Simmons was super open to that idea.
I know how to be me.
Yeah, real friendly guy. Easiest person to work with, I think.
Yeah, right.
So, prior to finishing the script, the writer spent time with each Kiss member in order to get a feel of how they acted, how they spoke. Ace Frehley, known as a little bit eccentric. Basically,
also, that's another way of saying hi.
Well, all of them, I would think.
Not Gene Simmons. He's straight edge.
Oh, okay. Well, Ace Frehley, okay, definitely high as fuck.
Well,
I mean, in this movie, you can tell.
straight edge in regards to like drugs. He's a man whore to end all man whores.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got addictions. They're just not narcotic ones.
So Ace Frehley was one of the ones they spent time around, and he literally just kept going, ack, because he's a weirdo. And when they wrote the dialogue for him, originally he was just going to say ack throughout the whole movie. He got very upset, and lines were written for him. Peter Criss's dialogue, none of that is him speaking.
It is Michael Bell. Mm-hmm. You may recognize him from a million cartoons, moreover the Transformers, anything from, Hanna-Barbera, really.
And in one scene that we'll definitely get to, Ace Frehley's stunt double is very clearly used. So, Nathan, this movie starts with giant kiss ghosts performing in front of various amusement park rides.
Yep.
Which is that's one way to start a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
It sounds like, see, this is a thing where, you know how, like, you have something in a movie and you're like, well, this sounds like a good idea in theory, but the execution doesn't really work. This is one of those rare cases where it didn't sound like a good idea in theory or execution.
And, like, it didn't work because the limitations at the time. One of my notes on this one is, this is what a music video would have been back in the day. Mm-hmm. Before MTV, when music videos were just kind of starting to make their emergence, this sort of kind of on the cheap filming techniques would be used. So right to us, it looks super cheap. I'm sure in '78 for a television movie, it looked pretty cool.
It is weirdly staged.
Yes.
It's just because, giant
like,
kiss.
Peter Criss is like playing the drums, but he's like playing them off of like a Ferris wheel.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a moment where I forget who shoots lasers out of his eyes.
Oh, that is
Paul Stanley, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
But he shoots lasers out of his eyes, and then the other one like dances down them dances down the lasers as if it's like stairs or something.
Yes. He like walks down it like it's a ramp.
Yeah. And really, so after these opening credits and, Kiss is performing and we get all these amusement park stock footage, my first note is, who is talking? Because for the first, arguably, like 15 minutes of this movie, anytime someone is talking, there's always something like in front of their mouth, like there's something passing them by or there's something in the way, and that's clearly to hide the fact that their dialogue is not them speaking on the set.
Yeah, it's all B-roll and ADR.
Yeah, it's crazy how how much you can tell that it's ADR. Like, this might be the worst ADR.
The most egregious use of it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because anytime they're out in the busy park, like when there's people milling about, it's almost like they couldn't get the mic and sound kind of right. Sort of like the first time we talked about this movie.
And the Phantom of the Park, we understand you now.
Yeah. And so they obviously had to insert ADR, and because there's still crowd sounds and stuff going on, but the way the ADR is mixed, it sounds like it's being read in a room, because it was read in a room. Even when like the other ones, people start showing up and there's direct talking going on, they still ADR right over top of it. Like when the biker toughs show up, Chopper and Slime, they're still, they're putting the voices over top of the stuff that they're clearly supposed to be saying.
Yeah, I feel like no sound was recorded. Like there is no sound recorded while they were filming. Like I don't even know if they bothered recording sound.
Well, they might have, and then when they got to the editing bay, they're like, we can't use any of this.
Wait, so you're making the assumption that this movie was edited?
Well, they had to do it because there's ADR.
I mean, outside of that.
Well, I mean, if you okay, look, you're like, okay, well, we're gonna have to hire Michael Bell to do the voice of Peter Criss, we might as well go back and try to fix the audio outside during the park when it's busy.
Well, and I mean, it's a good thing that the scene wasn't edited down where we got to spend a full 60 seconds on a roller coaster. So we meet our main characters on that roller coaster, Melissa, a.k.a. Not Beth, and Not Christine, two songs that play in the movie, yet the main character is not named after either of them.
Right.
Which, it sounds like an easy thing to do. Like, just name her Christine.
I mean, especially if you're like, okay, so the movie is Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park, and they have these two songs where it's a girl's name. We should totally use those girls' names.
Well, it's even in like that mediocre Beatles movie thing that they did. I think it's like Across the Universe, something like that. They at least had a character named Lucy.
Yeah.
Like, just lean into it. Like, you're making a Kiss movie. But Melissa and what the fuck is even his name? It's like Timothy or something? Sam.
Oh, Sam, yeah.
I don't know how I got Timothy. I'm thinking of the next week's movie.
There you go.
Oh God! Now they know there's a Timothy in it. But yeah, so
it's blown. It's blown.
There are charismaless lead actors, which I got to think that I bet Kiss, especially Gene Simmons, was like, listen, if we're not going to be in this movie for a full 30 minutes of the beginning, that you need to find the least charismatic and dullest two actors you can possibly find, because I am not being upstaged.
Done and done.
Even though, they're the guys with like crazy psycho clown makeup, he'd be worried about being upstaged by a couple of lead actors.
Even if your theory at that time might be overreaching, which I don't think it is, it would absolutely not be overreaching now, because he is such a thin-skinned, eggshell egoed individual. He cannot stand the idea of somebody getting even just the smallest thing over on him.
Rivaled only by the current leader of the free world.
Oh my, if they were on... Oh.
Well, they'd probably get along real well.
Was he ever on The Apprentice or some shit like that?
Oh, I'm sure that happened. That had to have happened. So they're on a roller coaster. At the same time, we see the scientist of the amusement park, of course. Every amusement park has their scientist.
Okay, and an R&D guy who's supposed to do basically maintenance and come up with some new robots to make the rides a little better.
Yep, and his name is Devereaux.
Professor Devereaux.
And we see basically that he's not happy with Kiss coming into town, because it means he's got to move his fucking weird robots out of the way. His weird robots that aren't really that weird, because they're clearly just people doing trying to do robot moves that aren't very convincing.
I love that note. Kabuki, more like John Belushi's Samurai.
But he's being intimidated by these toughs, and when I say toughs, I mean we're using it in the loosest term of the word.
Hey, Chopper don't hurt nobody unless he wants to.
Oh my God.
There were tougher toughs in Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, there were no real psychos in this one.
No. Nobody got left in raw feces to die in this movie.
Good Lord, or liquefied in the East River.
Right?
And then and right away, oh my God, this has some of the clunkiest camera work I've ever seen. There's a weird zoom where Devereaux is coming up from around the corner, and the camera shifts over and then shifts back and then kind of stumbles and then starts zooming, and I'm like, the fuck is that?
It's Ed Wood filmmaking at its best.
You want maybe a take two on that one? So after these toughs are intimidating or trying to intimidate Devereaux, we learn that we see Sam. Back to Sam for a moment, because he's hearing some strange noises, and he goes he ends up behind a door that sounds like someone's just making a sound effect with their mouth and starts screaming, and then we cut away. And I think that's the commercial break.
Could you tell?
Because this is a TV movie.
Yeah, that... I just wrote Death Door, and I was like... Was he actively pushed? Or, like, was Devereaux, like, luring him into walking into that room?
No, because, I mean, he just goes into the door. He hears something, I'm pretty sure. And then the door closes, and we just hear screaming, which makes no sense later, because when Not Beth goes in that door, it leads to a staircase.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe he's terrified of heights. He's
Maybe.
like, I hear a noise. I'm going to go see what's going on. Oh my God! I'm 8 feet in the air. I mean, that's
her, and then they're gonna eat me. Oh my God!
Oh, we should do that one day. I wrote down the line, "Why argue science with a bookkeeper?" I don't remember when that came up, but that's a line in this movie.
I think because Devereaux is trying to explain to him why the science, he needs more money for R&D, and it's very important for him to do his research and development. Yeah. And the guy's like, we don't have the money, we can't give you the extra money, and that's why he says, why argue science with a bookkeeper.
It's funny because, like, I knew every time you said R&D you meant research and development, but all I could think of was R&B, and the professor's like, we need some more money for this music I really like. I need to buy some CDs.
8 tracks at this point.
Oh yeah, I guess it wouldn't be CDs quite yet.
No. We're not. I don't want to book Kiss. Get Casey in the sun. No. George Clinton in Parliament Funkadelic.
I'm just going to put a microphone up to the stereo. But the village people toughs continue to mess with the exhibits, and this kind of leads Devereaux to be like, why don't you check out the Chamber of Thrills? To which one of them responds, Chamber of Thrills? I mean heart attack time, right? Dialogue's really good in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, I mean, I'm in the school of thought. I mean, I guess this is what you're supposed to think anyway. Devereaux should 100% be arrested right at this point, because a bunch of kids almost die on one of the, I don't know what that is, like the swings kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, it's at the, isn't it?
It's like a twirly
spider. It twirls, but it goes up and down in the air.
Yeah, and it's out of control. And Devereaux's like, well, I was just trying to experiment with some faster engines using, children as guinea pigs.
Yeah, normally what you do with that is you use weighted dummies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, Devereaux, naturally, he is, he's told that he's done. He's fired. Mm-hmm. So he goes off and goes back to his lab because apparently he wasn't hauled off in handcuffs after that.
No, and normally when you're fired, usually you're escorted off the premises.
Yeah. Normally when you're fired, they're not like, you know what though? Finish out the day.
Yeah, no. Had no company ever.
Clean out your desk at the end of the day. You can have the next 4 hours.
You have the next 4 hours to wreak as much havoc as you want.
Yeah, with the knowledge that you're about to be fired fresh in your brain, I'm sure the work output you put in for the next 4 hours will be outstanding and not detrimental to our organization in any way. So Melissa now is not Beth, sorry, not Melissa. Beth. Who am I talking about? Not Beth is looking for Sam, and she goes to Devereaux's because she knows Sam works for Devereaux in that section. Again, Devereaux fired, still there, and she doesn't find Sam, but she does find a RoboShop quartet.
What has she got that the others have not? It must be that look their own game. When she walks by, how the fellas all sigh. All they can say is, oh me and oh my.
Oh my god, they are a house of horrors.
They are also, again, very clearly people acting terribly as robots.
Yes.
Like, it just looks like a barbershop quartet. Like, that's why even at first I was like, but
one of them's
okay,
like a halfie.
Yeah.
And that's what, I think that's what really adds to the whole nightmare fuel aspect of it, is because it's like, I know it's really a person, but it's supposed to look like a robot. And if I encountered something like that in a state that's in right now, I would be horrified.
Oh, so you're saying that you wouldn't react like Not Beth, who before this was really concerned about Sam, and then as soon as she sees these robots, these singing robots, she gets a big old smile on her face.
Oh yeah, no, not terrified at all. You're in an android dungeon.
She's just clapping along. She's like, "You need a fifth member?"
My Adeline.
Baby on board.
something, Bert Ford. This thing writes itself.
That's right. Oh, we gotta pay them now. Hold on. Matt Groening, $100. Is it even Matt Groening anymore? I don't think he even knows The Simpsons is on the air anymore.
He still has his, he still owns it, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. His input on that show is the extent of the input that, like, Podcoin has on our show right now.
Yeah, it's probably incredibly slight, but...
Wait. Notice Nathan said incredibly slight. Podcoin, though gone, may still be pulling the strings.
You never know.
Pull the string!
So the professor is about to murder the street toughs to turn them into robots.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what you do. You murder people and turn them into robots.
But first he sends them through his haunted house,
the Chamber of Thrills,
with more animatronics. And I have this note: Peter Boyle as Frankenstein's monster.
Yep, and also, they better hope that the wrong person doesn't go into that Chamber of Thrills and, like a lawyer.
Right.
Because, they have Frankenstein's monster, they have Dracula, I'm pretty sure they have the Mummy and the Wolfman, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like, you better be careful what you're naming those characters.
Well, I think this
is a cover for Universal Studios?
No, not that. It's because I believe at that point the characters, not necessarily the representation. The representation they might get jammed up for, especially the green Boris Karloff / Peter Boyle looking one as Frankenstein's monster. But the characters themselves, I believe at that point, were in the public domain.
I don't know about that, because the Universal Monster movies were like from way back.
Right, but don't forget, Hammer movies in England were making Dracula movies before this came out.
Yeah, they were making them in the 70s too, though. So I would think they would still have a hold on of Dracula at the time.
It could be.
So what I'm saying is, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. Prepare to go to court.
Cease and desist. 40 years ago.
Yeah, this movie with barely a release.
Yeah.
So the Tufts are in the Chamber of Thrills, and they get sucked into a bunch of tunnels.
Do you notice the S&M robot?
No.
There's a dude, I think it was supposed to be the Wolfman or something, but there was one that was whipping another robot.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Dracula whipping the Wolfman. I think it was at that point where I wrote down that if not for the very real threat of death, this is the lamest haunted house ever.
Right. And we do find out that the professor does love his tube traps.
That's right. They all fall into a tube, and it makes that great mouth noise. And you know what? Nathan's sound effect right there sounded better than the movie. So I guess, you know what? I guess it's after this, the day after this, where Devereaux actually gets fired. But he knows he's getting fired.
Yeah, because actually I have a note. You fire the tech guy right before your busiest day. Or on your busiest day.
If you're going to fire the guy, which you should because he almost was responsible for the death of multiple people, have a replacement ready.
Yeah.
But, so, and again, he's getting fired, and Devereaux's like, well, I'm going to go back to the lab where I work at, because that's exactly what you do when you're fired.
You will regret this one day.
30 minutes into the movie, Kiss shows up.
Yes.
And performs.
Shout it, shout it, shout it out loud. And they use their Kiss powers to come in.
Oh yeah, they come in from like space.
They fly in. Gene Simmons has got his wings.
Yep. And
I'm fully convinced he wears those platforms so he doesn't appear shorter than the rest of the group.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Also, you then see Devereaux with his like colonial era robots, and I'm like, what is your end game?
Right.
What is this supposed to do, and how is this going to get you your job back? Also, but the Kiss concert continues through the commercial break.
There's a baby that waves at Gene Simmons because he's probably its dad.
Probably. He's like what's that basketball player that like
Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah, he's like the Wilt Chamberlain of music. And then when the concert is over, I remember you mentioning this way back on the first episode because Sam shows up and the Devereaux, it's a robot Sam now, and Devereaux says, "Start shooting." And I remember you mentioning that you thought he was going to take out a gun and start shooting at Kiss, which would have made a very interesting scene in this movie.
Absolutely.
But he's just taking pictures. He's taking their profiles because we'll later learn that there's a certain plan for Kiss. They're going to make some Kiss bots.
Mm-hmm. I just got this one thing where they're taking pictures, and there's one where they're focusing in, or Devereaux's looking at like a picture of Gene Simmons' face,
yeah,
and like the mouth specifically. And I was like, he's got a purring mouth.
Oh, and then Not Beth shows up, and immediately when she approaches Kiss, I think it's Paul Stanley who reads her mind, and he's like, "You're not here for Kiss. You're here for something else."
Star Child.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I believe is
that Paul Stanley's name?
Is that Paul Stanley?
I listen. I'm gonna lay.
I'm
this
not
out.
up on my Kiss-tory. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay this out right now. Do I like some of their songs? Sure. Am I a member of the Kiss Army? Nope, I burned my draft card. I'm sorry to say, guys, I don't know a lot about the band. I know that Gene Simmons is now in movies occasionally, and he has a really horrible reality show. Or he had one.
Yeah, Paul Stanley is Star Child.
Okay. And Gene Simmons was in Extract, and he was the worst part of that movie.
Yeah, but he is the best thing about Never Too Young to Die.
Oh, coming soon?
I will watch the hell out of that movie.
John Stamos and Gene Simmons, yeah.
Flying like a never flown star grove.
And Vanity.
To the danger zone. Another one of those movies that has its own theme song.
Oh, one of the many.
Yeah.
So,
but Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah, so there again, Paul Stanley can read her mind and knows that she's not here about Kiss, she's here about someone else. And then they kind of walk off, and then later the cops run into what they think is Gene Simmons.
They're not cops, they're just security
guards.
And they don't observe or report anything.
Nope.
And one of them's Brian James.
Yes, and he also was in another movie we did, and I'm trying... Oh, Armed and Dangerous.
Yes, he was in Armed and Dangerous. He was the shut up and sign the fucking form.
Yeah, he was the one that was with...
Mike
from Breaking Bad, yeah. So they run into Gene Simmons, who they think is Gene Simmons, but it's actually robot Gene Simmons.
Robo Simmons.
Who beats them up with some fantastic, bop-tastic porno music in the background.
But, and I guess that's one of my things about this movie on the second watch, is that you have a band in Kiss that has an extensive catalog of rock and roll music, and at this point strictly rock and roll, because I don't think they'd done any disco stuff at this point, and you use that music where you could be using like a totally sweet guitar centric song of theirs for a fight scene, and they don't use it.
No? You're saying that music in the background was not a Kiss song?
It was like straight out of Scooby-Doo.
Or Debbie Does Dallas.
Okay, that too, yeah. That's fine.
But after Gene's Robo Simmons literally throws the guards around and destroys property, hilariously like bursting through like a fucking snack cart or something.
Yeah.
After that, obviously they're like, okay, well, obviously we need to find him and see what's going on. So they come and visit Kiss at poolside. We're sitting in like these lifeguard chairs.
Yeah, and wearing cloaks in Southern California in the middle of the summer.
Silver cloaks. Yeah.
Yep.
And we get some great ADR. This is like the scene where it comes to life the most. Like for example, they each get a line as they go around in a circle, kind of. Like it's like, for example, like it's like jeans clean, a pussycat almost, ack.
Get your shit in, basically.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is the three lines from the three other members of Kiss. They said that they're like saying, oh, it was Gene Simmons. It was obviously Gene Simmons. And they're like, no. He maybe he was like a twin brother. And then one of them's like, Gene's brother was an only child. Easy, cat man. They are serious. And they've got guns. What?
I like that... at one point where they get there to go see them, they're like, oh, out by the pool? It's one of them, like, rock and rollers don't bathe.
Yeah, really, though. Like, I gotta think that they just shot Kiss, like, on their personal chairs during the middle of filming. Yeah. Just off to the side, and they're like, well, I guess we'll just shoot around.
Guys, we need you to come to the set. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah, fuck this shit. All right, guys, just, I guess, shoot around them? Do you know your lines? No. Okay.
We'll ADR it.
We'll put the right ones in, I guess.
Yeah. Can you get Michael Bell on the phone?
Paul Stanley uses his distant hearing powers to figure out that the owner of the park is trying to make sure that Kiss is not pulled from the show.
Yeah.
And Not Beth just doesn't know where Sam is still. However, this is where we learn that Kiss each possesses a talisman.
Yes, free with any Happy Meal.
Oh, they look so... the most hilarious props.
Yeah.
Like, not even convincing for, like, a B movie.
Just cheap as all get out.
Yeah, and so they show off their talismans and give them their powers. And after a really awkward zoom in on Not Beth's security pass, which, okay, sure, why not? I guess that's where Devereaux's, like, secret camera is hidden.
I guess.
It was the weirdest thing because they, like, zoomed in on her, like, security tag on her shirt, and then they cut to, like, Devereaux watching them somehow. And I was like, did he plant a camera in her?
I had just assumed that he had cameras up all over the park.
That's what I thought too, but the way they set it up by like zooming in on that and then seeing him, I was like, okay. Unless the cameraman was just drunk and he was like, boobs.
Which is a possibility. I mean,
yeah, well, 1978.
Right?
But no...
1978, 2019, I'm like that sometimes.
So I want to see all the B-roll you shot, Nathan, for this movie. No, just use the stuff you like. No, Nathan, we really trust your cameraman skills. We want to see all the other stuff that we might, we might not use it, but we might throw it in there for, for coverage.
Yeah, we can't use any of that.
I'll just save it for the bloops.
Save it for the boobs. Yes, sir.
No, but instead, Nathan, we get more Kiss concert footage.
Well, yeah. It's footage that was it obviously it's supposed to use to represent the passage of time because Kiss were supposed to be doing a 3-night gig at Magic Mountain.
Yep.
And so then we get what was the cue on that one? Because I wrote down most of the ones as they were going.
Oh, that song that I don't even remember.
Stole Your Love, I think it is.
Oh, is this the one they sing in the concert footage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while they're doing this, Sambot goes to Kiss's secret lair and finds their talisman, but when he tries to take them, he gets zapped
And
because
super stealthily and quietly look for stuff. I'm kidding. He just wrecks up the place.
he behaves like a member of Kiss would in a hotel room.
Yes, very much so.
But when he tries to take the talisman, he is zapped, and he cannot touch their talisman.
Right.
And so it's at this point, and this movie's all over the place, guys. We are just the bare bones of it because there is a lot going on. Kind of. There's a lot, and
Meanwhile,
also
at the
nothing.
same time, there's hardly anything going on.
Exactly. It's kind of an anomaly.
Yep.
But this is kind of an iconic moment of the movie here because Kiss at this point are just sitting around singing the song Beth for a
To
character
Melissa.
named Melissa. I really wanted her to like look out wistfully during the song and just being like, "Oh Sam, what can I do?"
Well, because her and the boys will be playing, and they just can't find the sound.
Do you think she fucked one of the members of Kiss on the set?
I don't know, but I guarantee you at least every single one of them tried.
Especially Gene, right?
Yeah, because,
Horn dog.
anything that'll move. Some
Gene,
things that
stop
don't.
fucking the vacuum cleaner. God damn it, Gene, we need those cameras. So and like I wrote down here, like as much as now this is the thing. I mean I mentioned neither of us are huge Kiss fans, but out of all their songs, I actually really like the song Beth. But at the same time, I'm like, do we need to hear the whole thing?
If you're gonna pad the video out, you do.
I know, it's like there's so many scenes of padding the movie. And I'm just like, I don't know if we need this entire song. But she, not Beth, is like, the song is making her very sad, so she's going off and sitting on her own. And then she sees Sambot, and then when she kisses him and realizes that he's not kissing her back, she fucking blood-curdling screams.
Yeah, because, that's how you react.
Yeah, it wasn't like
She was like, oh, something's amiss.
Yeah, he didn't punch her in the face or something. He just doesn't kind of react to her kissing, and she screams as if he's like coming after her with a knife. It's crazy. It's almost like they filmed a different thing that he was supposed to do, and then they were like, "Oh no, just don't kiss him." Oh, do you want the same reaction to that? Yeah, scream your head off. All right, you're the director.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right, sure, yeah.
I mean, who am I? I'm just not Beth.
What can I do?
Bum, 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 as they say. Anyway, I'm going to go rock and roll all night and party every day.
Part of every day?
Part of every day. I'll always think of it that way because of that fucking movie.
And part of every day.
Yeah, I can't do it all day. I have chores.
And, you want to, lay down in the afternoon sometimes too, right? So you can party rock and roll all night.
Thank you, Paul Rudd. Or whoever wrote that line for him. So Kiss is now on the move to find Devereaux because they realize that Devereaux must have done something with Sam to make him Sambot. And they run into, I guess, their cat/wolf/
Cat fight!
the cat.
Wrestling reference secured.
Done. Locked in. Oop. Send it on a rocket ship.
Actually, because they're cats, and then someone says they're apes because they climb up the roller coaster staging.
Did they order those masks from the same people the fucking Howling 2 ordered theirs? This is quite possibly the greatest fight scene ever filmed. The choreography is flawless. The cat people things make sounds like toucans, I think. And
Sure.
Ace's stunt double is an African American gentleman. And not only is it obvious, because he's doing backflips into the camera, and we see his in slow motion. So we see his entire face.
It's like Tony Hawk as Christian Slater, but it's a black guy.
The thing is, too, the way I read this was like planned to be his stunt double. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, Ace isn't here, we need someone quick. This is who they got.
Yeah, it reminds me of that scene in Orgasmo where they're like, stunt cock, and the guy comes in and he's like, hey, how you doing? And again, it's a black guy who's supposed to be the stunt cock for Trey Parker.
Right?
They're like, hey, who the hell is that? Oh, it's Bill. He's the new stunt cock. You don't see a problem with this? No, not really. He's good. All right, fuck it. Let's film. And I feel that's exactly what happened here.
No, yeah, nobody gave a sweet shit. Everyone had 10 grams of cocaine up their nose. Except for
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, who had his nose up in the air, was looking down on everyone.
Well, I was going to say, he's suffering from the latest bout of chlamydia or gonorrhea or syphilis.
Yeah, it's also kind of parodied really well in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka.
Mm-hmm. Where
they're doing like an action scene and then it's clearly like an old black guy and then it goes back and it's a woman again. It's great. I noticed also during this fight that Gene Simmons doesn't get hit once.
You don't say.
Weird, right?
Real, yeah, almost like he has some sort of, ego problem where he can't even take the idea of being fake hit.
But after they fight these monkey cat things, they encounter a bunch of ninjas. And the ninjas have swords that I felt like they alternated between sword and lightsaber. Like, they looked like both at times, and I don't know if that's just the shitty film.
Well, I think it's it could be the shitty film. It could also be the fact that they were just like, we might just make them lasers at first, and then they'll materialize and solidify into samurai sword. We won't get sued that way.
George Lucas was watching this the year after Star Wars, and he's like, "Oh, get my lawyers." Actually, he was more like, "Get my lawyers." Force, Star Wars, lightsabers. George, did you bring us here for a reason?
No.
It's fine. Never mind. McClunky.
What the hell does that even mean, George?
You'll find out.
It'll make sense.
It'll all make sense. It all makes sense.
40 years from now.
So Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yes.
Sam manages to get a transport ray gun or something, and
or some senseless shit. I don't fucking know.
Some fucking bullshit in this movie. He uses it to zap the talisman, because at first I thought he was just destroying them, but I guess he was like transporting them to Devereaux or some shit. And as Devereaux is collecting these talismans, Kiss is kind of resting on this merry-go-round, and they detect that something is a bit off. They spot Sam and follow him, or Sambot, I guess, but it's a trap. It's a trap! And
we're just bringing it back around to Star Wars, aren't we?
That's right. And they get caught in this, in that chamber of thrills or whatever, and have what goes from the most hilarious fight with those like ninjas and cat people things to the fucking most dull, boring fight ever.
Yeah.
Because they fight, they fight like Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the Mummy, and all those guys.
Yeah. And it was at this point I actually had wrote, I have less affection for this time around.
Yeah, I think I did the opposite for some parts.
Yeah. I did have a fun part. I was like, oh, they're fighting the Drac Pack. And if anybody out there is familiar with the cartoon, the Drac Pack, it was Dracula's son, the Wolfman's kid and
Wolf Kid.
Frankenstein monsters kid, I guess.
Kitty Stein, yeah.
Sure. And they were, I guess, trying to. They were being very Scooby-Doo-esque. They were trying to stop crimes. They had a base and everything like that.
Wait, the monsters were trying to stop crimes?
Yeah. I'm not kidding. Look up
Wow.
Drak Pack. It was, yeah.
I would love if they were trying to stop crimes, like petty crimes. But then at the end of the day, that you just see Dracula casually like murdering someone.
Just tearing into somebody to feed.
Oh, Drac. Make it happen. Disney Plus, let's do it. So, yeah. So the Kiss is fighting all these like not universal monsters, and Gene Simmons at one point
Well
sets
played.
the mummy on fire.
I think so. Yeah, because he's got that fire breath.
Yep. Because he still has it, I guess. Because Devereaux is now like getting rid of their talisman again.
Yeah, because
Like,
as he's destroying one of them at a time, it's taking powers away from whoever's talisman gets destroyed. And of course, Gene Simmons his talisman has to last till the end because he has to get all the the good shots in.
He's like, I always last the longest.
Okay, Gene. All right, don't be stay away from my daughter.
So, how old is she?
16.
Call me.
No, I will not.
Is her name Beth?
No.
What about Christine?
Shut up and get out of my head.
Gene, we need you on set. Coming.
No, put that away.
Oh, look at that hog. Yeah, so the Kiss is eventually overtaken, I guess, and they end up being trapped in a laser prison. Right?
Oh, yes, they do. Yes.
Okay,
That is a thing that happened.
I'm
yes.
like, I need to make sure it wasn't just a fever dream. So while they're trapped in this laser prison, the fake Kiss robots, which again are played by Kiss and don't act any different than Kiss whatsoever, except that they don't talk. Mm-hmm. They plan to take their places on the concert stage, and I'm assuming murder people. I don't really know.
I guess
They don't really spell it out at all. So at this point, so Not Beth is there too when the fake Kiss come out, and she like realizes, she's like, oh, it's not really Kiss because they didn't they didn't recognize her, and I'm like, oh, okay, so reacting to this, you're like pretty calm, cool, and collected, but when you kissed Sam and he just kind of stood there, you fucking screamed your face off.
Yeah, and they also, I guess the crowd kind of figures that it's not them too, but they sort of don't, because at one point I couldn't tell, like, was the crowd booing them and then they were getting behind them and then they were booing them again?
I don't know, because I think what it is like, I mean, they're performing at a real concert, so I think they didn't direct the crowd well at all.
Oh, I know all the crowd reaction film stuff was from the concert. I think the crowd noises, however, might have been ADR'd, and they just didn't do it right in some spots.
Well, yeah, because that's what you see. Like, you hear them booing, and then you look, and they're clearly cheering.
Yeah.
But thankfully, before Evil Kiss can, I don't know, murder people with music. Who is it? Which one of the members uses his like Jedi mind powers to get their talisman back? Was it Gene?
No.
Okay.
Because Gene, his power is the...
His power is he's a raging boner.
Yeah, well, I think his is supposed to be the fire power and his super strength.
Right.
So I think it was a Star Child, because I think they use star powers. I think he says star powers to do it.
Is Star Child Paul Stanley? Or is that Peter Criss?
That's Paul Stanley.
Okay.
Peter Criss is the Cat Man. Paul Stanley is the Star Child, Ace Frehley is Space Ace, and Gene Simmons is the Demon.
Gotcha.
I think I got that right. Yeah.
I am now a better person. So yeah, I don't really know how he had Jedi mind powers if they didn't have their talisman, but he does. And they get their talisman back, and then they show up to fight the robot Kiss on the stage, and it's fucking garbage too.
But the crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild, and the best part is you're watching it, and you're like, I don't really know what's happening because you're not really sure who's winning.
No, and well, I mean, the idea obviously is that the crowd thinks this is amazing because it's part of the show, and it's not really part of the show, but, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So there's some more porno music while they fight.
Again, they cut away from playing a song called Rip and Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, several of the members of the crowd I caught flipping birds, and I'm so surprised that got left in.
Yeah, there is an R-rated cut of this movie, apparently.
What? Shut up. There isn't.
There is an R-rated cut. I don't know what's in it, but I know that in the international version of this movie, they take out the opening with the Kiss Ghosts, and they add some other shit, and I don't know what it is, but I need to find it.
Because it did play in theaters, because that's how when we were first putting together the show, we were like, no, it's only going to be movies that have been in theaters.
We abandoned that quickly.
Well, no, because I was like, oh, no, it counts because it was in theaters in Italy.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
So-
that's the I believe that's the R-rated version that they had.
It would have to be.
I really want to know.
I think I remember saying that the rest of the band was really pissed because when the poster for it came out, Gene Simmons was over-featured
What?
to the rest of the band, and they did not care for that at all.
What? No.
It's true, Mark Wahlberg.
That's crazy.
I know.
You know what I would have said if I was Gene Simmons and they asked me about that?
What's that?
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
That makes a lot of sense.
I gotta go water the plants.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, guys. I'll see you
Bye.
later.
Say hello to your mother for me.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
You keep saying that.
What? No. Okay, I'm going.
Okay.
Don't touch my shoes, weirdo.
Oh, but they're nice shoes.
No. No.
But no, they're nice. And I am not visible minority, so I know you won't beat me up.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta go. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with him. Bye.
Jai?
Later, Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney was in the studio too. He was sitting there the entire time and I didn't even notice him.
Well,
His charisma just radiates.
yes, right. He lights up a room when he comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why the lights were so dim when we started the show.
Mm.
Yeah, so Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. There's some more African American stunt double work for Ace. I believe in this scene. It would have been hilarious too if during this Kiss fight where they fight each other or where they fight robot versions of themselves, if after 4 of them were destroyed or whatever, one of them was still like a robot, like one of the robots actually won and the rest of the band was just like, close enough.
I'm human me, and that's all that matters.
That's right. Only Gene Simmons wins. The rest are the robot versions.
It'd be perfectly for him because then he'd be able to tell them to do whatever they want because they're robots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's how he treats people anyway.
Yeah, kind of.
So, after this fight, somehow that's not the end of the movie. Not Beth is begging them to figure out how to return Sam back to normal. She wants her normal Sam again.
Yeah.
And Kiss is like geniuses because they're like, oh, here, try this. They just take the little robot thing off his neck and then boom, he's back.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I mean, it wasn't that hard to figure that out.
Rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah. And then Devereaux, I think Devereaux is just like killed at this point. Because they show him being dead, and I'm like, I don't really know how he died, but okay, sure. Maybe that's in the R-rated cut.
Well, no, because when they come back to it, it's almost like, because he was trying to harness the power of their talismans.
Right.
To power his robots. Yes, this is a thing that really happened. And he was...
Hanna-Barbera.
I think what... The way I drew it out was that his mind couldn't withstand it. Like, he was driven to a catatonic, brain-dead state through the power of Kiss.
But wait, you mean just Gene Simmons?
Probably.
I believe that's in the official plot summary.
Yeah.
So after the owner of the park laments about the huge loss of a genius brain when Devereaux died, Kiss plays more music, and we get credits.
Yes.
So that's Kiss meets the
Credits
Phantom
and B-roll
of the
like
park.
Absolute, total 70s TV movie trope.
Yeah, filmed especially for this scene. Just kidding. Yeah, so we've covered it twice, and I think we've got it.
Yeah, I think we can safely say that this was perfect.
Oh no, past Nathan. How did you get through the time warp? The
I'm
wormhole.
not. I've caught a cold again.
Oh no. Okay, here's some tissue.
There we go.
Oh, you better?
Yep.
Okay,
all good.
cool. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Okay, well, Nathan, Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. What do you say? People watch it? Yes? No?
One time. Just so you can say you've seen it.
Yeah.
And so you can say that you've seen a movie Gene Simmons doesn't want anybody to see.
That's true. That did give me some joy
Yeah.
in seeing this movie and knowing that Gene Simmons hates it, and the rest of Kiss too, but mostly Gene Simmons.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say if you're listening to this and you're just like, what are they talking about? Yes, you should definitely watch it once, and then you never need to think about it again.
You can be like, man, that was wow.
Yeah.
And then you never have to check it out again.
And if you don't like Kiss, it might be a tough slog for you.
Or if you hate Kiss, you might delight in their pain. So,
Also true.
not going to tell you how to live your life.
Well, that's what this podcast has been all about for 100 episodes.
Yep.
And with that, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What were they thinking?
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by HostGator. HostGator is a leading provider of shared, reseller, VPS, and dedicated hosting solutions. Award-winning support is available 24/7, 365 days a year via phone, email, and live chat. Discover why over 9 million websites trust HostGator. Use the coupon code SCHLUCK for 25% off your first purchase. That's SCHLUCK, SCHLOCK, for 25% off your first purchase.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you today by GameItAll.com. Whether it's video game news, the latest in music, or movie reviews, GameItAll.com is your one-stop shop for all nerdy talk.
What were they thinking?
And we're back.
We are back.
Nathan,
Yes, Brendan.
we've actually never done a low haiku for this movie.
We
Because-
have not.
Yeah, because when we started this podcast, we had not started doing the haikus yet.
This was not part of our modus operandi.
Ooh, a little Latino flavor.
I believe it's Latin.
Oh, I added an O for effect.
Oh, when you made it wrong.
I apologize. Please don't cancel me.
It's okay. Cancel culture's not really a thing.
So now, it is time for the low haiku.
Yes.
And the little haiku is, 17 syllables to sum up the movie, technically, that we just talked about.
Yes.
So, Nathan, would you like to start?
I would be delighted to.
Okay.
Had to watch again. Affectionless this time. Man, this shit is piss. And Gauss approves as well.
He had to be here for the 100th.
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to read my haiku. Kiss meets the phantom. Time to go back to our roots.
Ack, 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 ack.
Ack.
Very good.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure Ace Frehley got his time in.
You want those residuals. Oh, Mr. Carter, we're back.
Oh, it's like, oh my God, it's like so crazy. It's like this baby's talking, but he's not really talking.
My career tour took a downturn.
Oh my God, it's like I was in a movie and they said Limp Bizkit's directed it, and I said sure. Coming soon.
Okay.
I'll just say that. Coming soon. So that was Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. We definitely had our opinions about that, but what have we been saying for 100 episodes? Kind of, maybe not 100, but almost 100, Nathan.
Well, what we normally say is...
Don't take a word for it.
That's right. Don't take our word for it. Although it's, there's no critics' reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
But the audience rating is technically fresh.
Yeah, it's... yeah.
60%. By the way, Nathan,
Yeah, okay, fine.
I would like to give some congratulations to both of us right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel we were part of this. I looked to see what the rating was when we started this here podcast, and this was our first episode.
Uh-huh.
It was at 61%, so we brought it down.
We brought it down.
Yeah!
Yeah, they're listening to us. They are taking our word for it.
So, get off your pedestal. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Just wait till we revisit Hollywood Homicide. Oh, what's wrong, Nathan? Is there a scene in that movie? I mean, it couldn't be Josh Hartnett. Was it Harrison Ford having sex with a donut? Oh, it couldn't be that. Anyway. Well, let's... Oh, God. Okay. Okay. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Smell it in my nose.
Air it out. Here, drink this.
No.
Okay, now sniff this.
Get out of here.
Okay, now put this on your back.
Stop it.
Okay, now
Let's
pour
read
this all over your back.
reviews. No, we're going to get audience reviews. Let's go.
All right. I'm not going to mention Harrison Ford sex ever again.
Yeah.
So, the audience reviews. My first review here is from Peter M., who gives it half a star. And just simply says, lifelong Kiss fan, this movie is awful. Very succinct and to the point. Actually, you know what? This one's really quick too, so I'll just include it as a counterpoint from Bud L. He gives it 5 stars, and he says, one of the greatest movies ever. Starchild!
Okay. Well, Dana F., in the middle of the road, gave it 3 stars. The original made-for-TV movie is far better than the one with new songs and different music. I'm based the rating on the former. Somewhat a silly little film, but fun to watch, a great mix of science fiction, music, comedy, and horror that worked well together.
It sounds like some great grammar, too.
Yeah, and because I believe that this was, while it was they tried to hide it or disavow it for years and years and years and years, it apparently made its way into a Kiss box set.
Yeah, I have
A
heard
DVD
about that.
did, yeah. And they put in different music and whatnot, tried to clean it up and polish it up, but a polished turd is still a turd.
Damn right. This one's from Jonathan K. He gives it 5 stars. And he says, "This is one of my favorite bad movies of all time. Today I got to watch it for the first time in years, and I must say it was worse than I remember it. It's so bad I wouldn't make my worst enemy watch it, but I would recommend that both best friends' worst enemies watch it of their own free will."
Okay.
So I'm not going to force anyone to watch it, but I think you should on your own.
Well, Tim G. He
McGee's
gave it
brother.
I guess so. Gave it a 4.5 stars. And I got to read this a little away from the mic because I'm going to read it the way I think that he means it to be read. Okay? Just a second.
This movie always brings me back to the 70s. I love it when weak acting, but that's how it was back then. ... Love it.
Wow, is that from Roger Ebert?
It's all caps.
Oh, Nathan, I have one that's all capital letters too. From Gilbert W., who gives it 5 stars. I don't know if I can top what you just did, but I'll read what he has here. I love it. I have movie of that is my crazy Kiss fan. Don't know what that means, but he likes it.
Sure. Maybe later ask Milo Sherborsti what the
translation.
From their country. Yeah, exactly. Loses something in translation. Al H gave it 3 stars. Wrote, "I cannot believe they have done that, but I give them 3 stars."
What?
I cannot believe they have done that, but I give them 3 stars.
Oh, these audience reviews are spectacular.
Some are pretty great.
Becky D assumes that we know her point of reference here. She gives it 3.5 stars, and she says, "John says the American version is better."
Okay.
I mean, John says the American one's better. So if John says it, it's probably true.
Thomas B gave it 0.5 star. Gets right to the point. One of the stupidest movies ever made.
Wow. Boom.
Yep.
All right, I've only got one more, and it's from John O, and he gives it 5 stars.
Is that the John that we were talking about?
Well, after you hear this, I don't know if it is or not, but we'll try to see if we can put them together. But his review simply reads, "Add a review optional."
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Deborah M. She gave it.
Deborah Messing.
I assume that it's her. 4.5 stars. This is classic. Seriously.
Oh, the people that give this 5 stars, I'm worried.
Yeah. Did you notice that Jim Bowie was a gaffer on this?
Jim who?
Jim Bowie, the guy who invented the Bowie knife.
No, that is a crazy fact, though.
Well, it's not the same guy, obviously.
Oh, Jesus, I thought it was. Holy shit.
No.
Wow. I was ready to believe you.
It was just one of those things where someone who has the same name as, sort of, yeah.
Amazing. It would be amazing if it was him.
Well, it'd be a hell of a feat considering he was like a pioneer or frontier hero, alive around the same time as Davy Crockett and the like.
Yeah, so he'd just be a little older.
Right, still doing gaffers in the 70s film industry.
He goes from trapping beaver in the wilderness to trapping beaver in Hollywood, am I right?
Oh, there you go.
Anyone?
Nobody.
No, I'm done.
No.
So now that we've kind of wrapped that section up, I think we should announce, or not announce, but we should at least give a hint as to what's coming up next week. This is Nathan's Christmas pick. Mm-hmm. So Nathan, why don't you give us a little hint-a-rooney?
Well, if you like Kiss, you're gonna love this.
There you go. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, Part 2.
The Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah. It's going to be another band. They're finally making that Nickelback movie we suggested.
Hit.
Nickelback meets their certain doom.
Oh, I'd watch that then.
Nickelback getting murdered 10 times in a park.
Happy Death Day to them, eh?
Happy Death Day Nickelback edition.
Yep, I'd watch that every day, twice on Sunday.
Down with it. And the twist is, it was Avril Lavigne that murdered them.
The only time I'd have any use for her whatsoever.
Hey, listen.
What?
Just because you weren't a skater boy.
She is fucking dreadful.
But her music's great, right?
Dreadful.
Well, let's get a visit from Mr. Monkington.
Okay, yeah. I'll get him.
His words to say on our 100th episode, I'm sure.
Hello, gentlemen. It's I, Montrose Monkington III, and I would like to congratulate you on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
Yes, it is my pleasure. I feel that your ratings only increased after the inclusion of my promo spots. So not only congratulations, but also you're welcome.
Well, let me just take a look at the numbers here.
You don't have to, because, I mean...
Are you sure? I mean, I could just look at them
positive.
right now.
No, it's fine. I know that you have gotten more followers because of Montrose.
I mean, because it's really no issue. I could just look right now. It's just...
I'm just saying that the people who go to Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube, and also those who are friends with Montrose on the Facebook under Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends, and even the few who do follow me over on Twitter at Montrose III, that's the number 3RD, they flock to your podcast at the behest of myself. And you can thank me for those ratings.
I mean, I do thank you. It was a little strange that you told me all your social media. I mean, I know where to follow you, Montrose.
Well, I know you do it, but I'm letting other people who might not be following me but listen to your show know where they can follow me as well. It's a cross-promotional thing. My hand is shaking your hand, as it were.
You turned a conversation into a plug.
I'm just simply helping.
Whoa.
Are both of you still on the Teddy Ruxpin Appreciation Society?
Well, yeah, every other Wednesday.
Okay. What about HBO After Dark?
Every other Tuesday.
Al Jazeera Network?
Every day for 4 hours.
Pod Kit Knife?
No, we have a bad history with them.
Pod Closet?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. Well, I will take my leave of you again, but congratulations, gentlemen, on your 100th episode. Thank you. More later.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
No, it's our 100th. Give me the final word.
No, you would be thanked, but you're thanking me for bringing you the traffic, so I'm saying you're welcome for that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I'll take it as a victory.
All right.
So now that we've come to the end, Nathan, well, let's plug first. So you can find our podcast on Facebook. You can search for us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at WWTT Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at the same thing, WWTT Podcast. 100 episodes, and I still stumble through this sometimes. You can find us on all the podcatchers, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. You can also find us on Redbubble and TeePublic. If you just search for our podcast, we are on there. We're also on Patreon, which you can sign up for and get some bonus episodes, early access. You can pick the movie. You can be on an episode. Lots of good stuff available to do there. And I think that's it. So,
yeah.
Wow. 100 episodes, and we come back to Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, where it all began. Wow. Well, Nathan, I thought we'd do things a little differently here.
Okay.
We usually ask each other, what were they thinking?
We do.
But I thought we'd end with a little thing we kind of produced together, and I will throw this out right now. A little co-writing credit with, in addition, with Steve Kondrick. He may have helped on this a little bit.
Oh, well, thanks, Steve. One of our kind of unofficial hosts, because, I mean, him and Stevie, Stevie. That's what we're going to call him now, Stevie, because that's just one person.
Steve and
Stevie. No, Stevie.
Stevie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stizzy.
Stizzy. I thought you were going to say like Steve and Stiffy. So Stevie. But this one was just Steve because Izzy is away. But Steve did help us write this little musical number to close out the show. I hope you enjoyed. Just a little retrospective of the first 100 episodes, with many more to come.
Indeed.
So with that being said, I guess we'll just say see you next week.
Toodles. Arguing with the whip bowl, E.T. got a creamy hole. Plot is the answer, Marovich is woke. It's time for a low haiku, checking out the lame reviews. Wrestling reference got it in, don't take our word for it. Check out Popcorn, Nevermind, Mariah's cock makes us cry. Gamera, friend to kids, Michael Bay, cocaine bitch, Ishiro, Takahashi, Montrose plugging YouTube. Monk has lots of tits, Postal is the drizzling shits. What were they thinking? It's something we've asked since 2016. We watch crappy movies, and sometimes they cause internal bleeding. Japan, Green Gables, Superior, breaking ankles, Milos and Borscht, these skater bras and dad jokes. Showgirls time, have no fear. Steven, is he drinking beer? For screen and country, nope, that's the wrong show. Harrison Ford, sex, listening to the internet. Coats up the Sandman hater. Jericho, let's cleaned up Slater. Interesting tidbit, a tidbit that's interesting, not a fun fact indeed. Holy shit, legal weed. What were they thinking? It's something we've asked since 2016. Is this going long? We're only about halfway through the song.
Shit kids, sexy nerds, hashtag child murder king. Arthur's mumbling mage, Klein is LL Cool J's age. Water dragons, who's he Steve? Jane Douglas, kindly leave. Ben and Arthur moaning, go fuck yourself Wyoming. Robin Paris, Furstenberg, Sound of Thunder was a turd. Joseph Culpa's Dr. Doom, no we're not doing The Room. Adoption Laws and Mikey, Nathan no likey. Marky Mark, what? No! Wing Commander, Jason knows. What were they thinking? It's something we've asked since 2016. We both get nothing. No, not even banana porno. Snake Eyes, Nick Cage, Nick Fury brings all the rage. Biker Boys, Red Dawn, hit us up on Patreon. Indie Beats on Solo on a mini episode. Live stream for charity. Kermit says, don't smoke weed. Tyler Perry, Evil Bong, Jonah Hex. Oh, that's just wrong. Why did Patty pick Medea? Therapy, I'm gonna need ya. What were they thinking? It's something we've asked since 2016, but mostly we say thank you for listening to all this bullshit. We just want to say you're great. All our fans are top rate. Constant love on Twitter. Always glad, never bitter. No comments we regret, even from David Arquette. Maybe not from Uwe Boll. He told us both to suck his pole. And he plugged his website, but no challenge to a fight. Is this a non-issue? Don't fret, here's a tissue. Anyway, back to the song. Changing topics was so wrong. You are all better than Muck. Have we mentioned postal socks? What were they thinking? It's something we've asked since 2016, but mostly we say thank you for listening to all this bullshit.